If you saw it as a possibility for your life, then that means it's possible and you deserve it and you want it, so go get it. Whatever it is that you want for your life, you deserve that. And I hope that you never, ever forget that. Hi guys, welcome back to Katt Cares. This is another week of Ask Katt, where you get to ask me questions and I get to give you some advice that will hopefully not just empower you, but empower all of us. This is a community of empowered women, and that is what we're here to do. Before we get started, you already know, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell so that you don't miss a thing, because every week we are coming in here and talking about different struggles. You don't want to miss it. And if you like this video, do not forget to like, because every like is a step towards creating this wonderfully empowered community of women. Thank you guys so much for all the love. As always, I'm so grateful to you guys. And without further ado, let's get into this week's letter. This letter says, "Dear Katt, I feel like I have 50 half-done projects in my life and I can't seem to finish any. It's frustrating. I get myself so pumped and excited for stuff, then I lose interest halfway when all the little details start coming into play and I don't finish anything. Having that initial idea and then initiating it is easy for me. Completing it is not. Any advice on how to finish it?" Thank you so much for that submission. I think that this is such an important conversation to have, especially when it comes to creating our goals. I know that all my women out there want different. We want change. We want to live a better life. And we have this idea of what we want. And then we kind of start and we get motivated, right? This is the whole thing. We hear something motivating, we see someone doing something, and we're pumped and we start. And then somewhere along the line, we just lose it, or we leave it and we don't finish it. And that's why we don't get to see the fruition of all of our hard work. So, in being an empowered woman, completing your goals, getting to that finish line is such an important thing, because that's what it takes to live the life that you want. First, we have that desire, then we have that motivation, then we have consistency to get us to the end. Before we get into that, I want to give you a little praise, because you have a lot of the key elements that it takes. You already have that desire and that motivation to get to where you want to be, because you have all these things that you know you deserve, that you know that you want to do and that you want to have in your life. So take that, keep that, and let's create the future that you want with that little extra oomph that you need. I don't want you to feel like you're starting from scratch, because you already have such a great foundation. Now it's just about taking it to the next level. The other thing I will say is, you don't have a problem starting any of these projects, right? Which I feel is half the battle. Sounds like you are like, this is what I want to do. All right, let's get it going. It's just a matter of keeping up with it and finishing it all the way through. You want more for yourself. And I love that you see that. I love that you can tell that you deserve more. All of these things are so important in creating our ideal life, the life that you want to live. In order to become an empowered woman, you have to look at your life and say, you know what? I deserve better. So we're just gonna add the missing ingredients that you need in order to get to that finish line. So your question specifically was on how do I finish things? Actually, I will make a video talking about how to start and how to create our goals. But for today, we're gonna focus on how to finish them. There are 5 things that I want you to do in order to finish your goals. We're gonna start with number 1. Brainstorming and planning is going to be a key in being able to see our goals and our plans go from A to Z, from start to finish, right? Because when we have a plan, there's no way for us to get lost. The perfect example that I can think of is school. There is a plan. You know exactly what is expected of you in school. You have to get through each grade. And within each grade, there are different tasks that you have to finish, right? These classes that you have to pass. And within each class, there are assignments that you have to pass in order to complete everything. So do you see how we start funneling down? I want us to be able to take the same idea and add it into our goals. That is what planning is all about. Being able to break it down from our ultimate goal, graduation, all the way down to that first assignment that you need to do. And we're gonna work backwards in order to be able to create all these steps that we need to do. Now, just like school, your first assignment is not going to be graduate. We're gonna start with the first assignment on introduction. That is how I want you to think about your goals. What is the first thing that you need to do? And we're gonna then create small goals and small steps to be able to complete our goals all the way through. Number 2 is gonna be consistency. Once we have a plan laid out, now we have an idea of what we need to do every step of the way. So now it's going to be you creating structure in your life to be able to complete small goals. And that's why I say the planning part is so important, because you want to be able to complete steps that you can do maybe even weekly or daily. Now we have a plan that we can now add consistency to. What does consistency mean? Sticking to the plan. If you took the time in the planning stage, that means that consistency will be easy because you're gonna have deadlines. You're going to have due dates where you want things to be completed. Now, you wanna be able to be flexible with your plan. However, you still wanna stick as close to the plan as you can. Number 3 is such an important one because I want you to always be realistic. I want you to be realistic with your timeline, with your goals, and also don't expect everything to go smoothly. The road to your goals, what you want out of life, is gonna look something like this. There will be ups and downs. So if something happens where you feel like you're taking a step back, don't stop, keep going. That's okay, because as long as you're working at it, and as long as in the long run, you're seeing some kind of progress, that's all that matters. I'm sure, I'm gonna take a wild guess and say that one of the reasons why you end up dropping things is because you don't see the progress that you wanna see, you get disappointed and you just let it go. But when we create realistic steps and goals for ourselves, then we're able to celebrate the small victories until we get to that end result. Number 4 is going to be kindness. Girl, I'm gonna need you to be kind to yourself, okay? The road to our goals is gonna go up and down. So when we hit those low points, be kind. Don't be mean to yourself, because that's not gonna make you any more productive. That's not gonna get you any closer to your goals. And as a matter of fact, that's just gonna motivate you even less to get to where you wanna get to. So be kind to yourself in this process, and don't be frustrated with yourself. Take a step back, reevaluate if you need to, and say, what do I need to do? Do I need to change anything? And then move forward. And the final thing, number 5, is going to be stay focused. I want you to constantly remind yourself of what that end goal is. Going back to the same analogy of school, even when we're in 9th grade, we're still working towards that end goal of graduating high school. We focus on, let me get through this school day, let me get through this school year. For what? So that I can graduate. It's the same thing here. What are my tasks for today in order for me to get through this week, in order for me to get through this month, in order for me to get to my goal? So I always want you to keep in mind what the end result is, so that you continue to look exactly to where you need to go. And listen, even as you're focused, even when you're kind, even when you're working consistently, it's okay to take a break. I want you to be able to plan in there some breaks, because even in a marathon, runners take a moment to stop and drink water. but they keep going because they know they're focused on that finish line. So it's okay for you to take a little break, regroup, so that you can go and give 100% of yourself once again. So I never want you to feel like just because you stopped, you can't pick it back up. And I feel like that's gonna be my biggest message. I want you to go back to those 50 unfinished projects that you have and think about one that you want to pick back up and that you want to see through all the way. And never ever want any of you to feel like just because you left something undone means that you can no longer pick it up. You have a chance to pick anything you want right back up and see it to the end. Don't lose that motivation, don't lose that desire, and keep going. Work on planning. You know, if it's a specific goal that you can accomplish in a year, make that year script. Start from the end and go all the way down to what you can do today. Plan yourself out, little things that you can do, small steps that you can start today or tomorrow, ASAP. And then from there, work on being consistent, on getting it done. If you see that you've fallen behind, pick it right back up and keep going. Be kind to yourself along the journey, even in those moments where you fall back, but always stay focused on your goal because you deserve that. If you saw it as a possibility for your life, then that means it's possible and you deserve it and you want it, so go get it. Whatever it is that you want for your life, you deserve that. And I hope that you never, ever forget that. Alrighty, guys. That is it from me this week. Thank you guys so much for being here and giving me just a little bit of your time. If you like this video, go ahead and like it and share it so that we can continue building this community of empowered women. If you want to be a part of the Ask Katt series, don't forget to send in your problems. You can find the information down below because I never want you to feel like you have to go through any struggle alone. I love what I do. So thank you for giving me a chance to be able to do it. I will be back next week, but until then, always remember, Katt cares. Bye guys.